All right, I'm Master Trooper Scotty Pennington. I'm the Public Affairs Officer here at the London State Police Post. I want to thank you all for coming out today. This is a tragedy that has happened in the edge of Laurel County and Rockcastle County, and hopefully we can get some resolution to this quickly and in a timely manner. I know the citizens of our community in both Rockcastle and Laurel counties are stressed to the max, and law enforcement is working tirelessly to bring this to a calm and an ease for them. So I'm just going to give you some minor details of what's going on that we've been doing since late last night, and a little bit into the trying to locate the subject. This is going on 48 hours. 48 hours. It happened around the 49-mile marker on I-75. The search for Joseph Couch of Woodbine remains. We would like to thank our partners with the FBI, the ATF, local law enforcement, Fish and Wildlife, the Forestry Service, and London City Police and the Laurel County Sheriff's Department. That is very mute to the people that are involved with this. We have Rockcastle County Sheriff's Office. We have other police department agencies that have came and volunteered their time and their expertise to help with this. Jackson County Sheriff's Office. So it's just not the Kentucky State Police. It's just not the Sheriff's Office, our federal partners. There are so many people, and it's you all. You as being the news people that is reaching out, and I apologize to you all. I can't answer every call, every email. That's why we've done this at one location at one time. Just the amount of calls and emails that I've got, there's no way I can answer. So I apologize to you all, but thank you all for getting out as much information as you can, and correct information. This manhunt has become a methodical effort, similar like a hide and seek. We're focused on protecting the residents and their homes and the businesses during this critical time. Our goal is to apply steady pressure and wearing Mr. Couch down. The longer he is in the woods, last night it got pretty chilly, and today it's got kind of humid and hot. Hopefully he has no water and nothing to eat, and just time that we will wear him down and putting pressure on him with constant, steady our helicopters flying over, drones flying over, dogs, SRT in the woods looking, cars running up down the interstate. Just things like that is putting pressure on him, and hopefully he'll eventually just walk out of the woods and give himself up. That's what we hope will happen in this scenario. We've utilized all kinds of technology in searching. Like I said, we use helicopters, we use drones, special response teams, not just from the Kentucky State Police. We've had the Laurel County Sheriff's Department with their special response team. We've had the FBI. We've had the ATF. We've had numerous local and small agencies that's volunteered their special response people to come and also assist in this. And clearly, if we continue to work together, hopefully we'll come out with a good resolution in this. This is a constant communication effort. So people, ask, why ain't we just going in there? If you've followed my Facebook in the last hour or so, we have gave you a photograph of the area. It's not like going over to this business and looking for somebody in there. It's not like going to a football field and trying to find somebody behind the bleachers. We are in the Daniel Boone National Forest, and this is thousands and thousands of acres. And I stated last night, it's kind of like a jungle. Well, it is like a jungle. And we have cliff beds, we have sinkholes, we have caves, we have culverts that go under the interstate, we have creeks and rivers, and the dense brush. I mean, it's not something I can just take my dog for a natural walk through. Yes, there are paths, but when we're looking for somebody, we have to go through those dense areas. We have to go and make sure no rock is unturned to find not just him, but find evidence. And when you do these things with all the people involved, you got to have communication. So there's not a direct line when you first get there, even maybe the first day, that the FBI can talk to the state police can talk to the sheriff's department. We have to tie those networks together and go out and do grid searches. Find certain areas that you're going to go and not track in behind each other. And also, you got to know who's to your left and to your right. and make sure they're safe. And you go very slowly, because not just you're looking for him, you're looking for evidence. You're looking at, and yesterday we was able to obtain some evidence that the Sheriff's Department is working on their investigating side of it, and I'll explain that. A lot of people's kind of confused. Hey, what's the state police's role? What's the FBI's role? The Sheriff's Department. The Sheriff's Department is working the criminal investigation part of this. That means there was an active shooter on the interstate that harmed people. They shot people. They will be presenting this case to the Commonwealth Attorney here in Laurel County, and if for some reason the feds think there's a federal charge, or they believe it to be a federal charge, they can step in and help the Laurel County Sheriff's Department with that. The Kentucky State Police, along with the FBI, the Sheriff's Department, we are asked to step in to help with the apprehension and manhunt of Mr. Couch. That means we're boots on the ground right now. They initially got the complaint, and they have worked tirelessly out there, but they got to have a break. They got to be able to go investigate. They got to be able to go get search warrants. They got to be able to go home and see their family and get a night of rest so they think straightly. And that's why we utilize the Kentucky State Police. We have 16 posts, I said last night. We have resources, and we have a Kentucky State Commissioner that is amazing. He is going to get us the resources here in Laurel County to continue to look for Mr. Couch tirelessly. And sometimes these investigations, we hope that he's still in that area. We hope that we've got him contained. But we all know they don't always end that way. So we're going to continue. If our search gets broader, it gets wider, it leads to more miles, we're going to go every day and try to find him. We've got him entered in NCIC. That means if he's not in this area and he's walking down the road and some deputy in Madison County or Whitley County or even in Tennessee gets out with him and, sees some guy that's just wore down and fits the description, hopefully they'll use caution. We've sent all the intelligence out to them other agencies. So when they do see him, they can say, this guy fits the description. They can use caution. They can run him. And maybe that's how we find him. We hope he's still there, but he might not be. But we're going to take all the leads. We want the citizens to call in on everything. If you see something that looks strange in your area where you live out, if you come home and your doors don't seem like that's how you left it, back out and call somebody. If you're at home, don't be alone. Always have your cell phone, have a phone accessible to you. Check on your neighbors. Check on your elderly neighbors. Make sure that you've heard from them. Be a good neighbor and just check on them. Call them, say, I was just checking on you. Make sure everything's okay. Because in the Rockcastle area where we do have residents, there's a lot of homemade, like where people live there that come in from areas to camp. So maybe they don't have phones in those little buildings or shack or campers. So if people of Rockcastle that know these people, reach out and talk to them. Just say, hey, just checking on you. Didn't want to get in your business. Just want to check on you. If you hear your dogs, barking late at night, call. Check your phones if you have that technology to see if somebody's on a deer camera or your cameras, your Ring cameras. When before you go home, just scroll through it. Make sure if you see something that kind of looks weird, somebody walked through your yard, it could be nothing, but it could be something. And it could give us a lead to just drive down there and like I said, he could turn himself in, or it could get worse, and hopefully it doesn't. But dealing with communication, like I said earlier, everybody on the ground is communicating, has got to be able to talk to the helicopters. Helicopters got to be able to see them and put eyes on them, because if you helicopter sees them but he can't tell the person on the ground what he's looking for, it's kind of useless. And then we have to relay that stuff back to our command post, which relays it to post, and it kind of goes in every direction. We get people heading that way. So communication is big. It's big, and it's got to be the right communication, and that's why these things take so long. Our priority is the safety of everyone involved. We are committed to make sure that there is no harm to anybody in the community, and also to our first responders on the ground. Our job is to make sure every one of our people that's in a uniform goes home to their family. And that's our first priority. And if we have to go slow and like a snail, that's what we're going to do. Because We do not want anybody in our line of work or anybody in this community to be harmed. Like I said earlier, Mr. Couch is entered in NCIC. We encourage any tips to come. Please call us. Please call us. I guess I will leave. I will clarify some things for y'all that was kind of early in the investigation about his military service. He was in the military, but it was not the Army National Guard. It was the Army Reserves. So he's been discharged with an honorable discharge. So I wanted to clarify that. So I can open up the floor for questions for me or anybody in behind me.
Have you seen any evidence today that he is still in the woods and still alive?
So we still have people. I'm going to look this way, sir. I'm sorry. We still have people in the area, and we will remain in the area until we can't find him. This is very slow, and you got to look. The temperature has got up a little bit today, so our people are constantly. They're searching areas. They're searching grids. ATVs, four wheelers, and you got to think it's hunting season. People still out there hunting, so we encourage people in the community. If you're going to be hunting, please don't be out at Cromer's Ridge and Livingston area. Please stay away from that area for a couple of days until we come to resolve. And people out in the community don't have somebody that I'm going to save the world. I'm going to just go out and go find him myself, because not only could you get harmed, you could get killed, and we don't want that to happen. And so, as of this time, the evidence has not come that we have located him, but it's very slow. It's a very slow process.
For any update on the victims, that's been a little confusing in the early stages of this. Still 5 hit by bullets on the highway. Is there a car crash, I understand, or what can you tell us about the victim?
So that would be part of the Sheriff's Department's investigation, and I apologize for that. I know bits and pieces, but not everything. And how many vehicles have been hit, car wrecks, I don't know that. We're here to find Mr. Couch, and that's our primary focus. Now, if we get information that helps the Sheriff's Department, we're going to share that information. Vice versa, they're sharing information with us. It's vast. I mean, it's moving. People's like, oh, you ain't getting information. Trust me, we're getting information so much it's overload sometimes.
Who's Sarah Mills, and what's her relationship to the suspect?
I apologize. It's the first time I've ever heard that name.
Who's in the affidavit?
I didn't get the search warrants. The Sheriff's Department did. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Scotty, is there any evidence, you've seen any evidence out there saying there was anybody involved in helping this guy other than him?
At this time, that's part of the investigation. Personally, I haven't, and I don't know if the Kentucky State Police has. Our job is just to try to locate this. It's something you might be able to ask another representative behind me, but today is us finding this Mr. Couch.
I'm looking at some of the details here. It seems like he was.
Yes, sir.
The search beyond the forest.
Can you help?
At what point do you expand the search beyond the forest?
Well, we're gonna keep going. I mean, it will probably expand, and that's just the job we signed up for. We're going to go as far as we can go until something leads us somewhere else. And this ain't something we're going to pack up and go home, because the citizens of Laurel County and the citizens of Commonwealth or Rockcastle County, they expect that out of us. And this is not easy. It's tiresome, and let me also say this. Crime just isn't happening in Laurel County today. It's happening everywhere. So, the Sheriff's Department, the Kentucky State Police, we have to answer calls in other communities, even in this county. And so we're going to continue to answer those calls. Don't hesitate to call us because you think you're bothering us because we're doing this. That's why we got resources that, surrounding posts like Harlan, Hazard, Madison, Columbia. We're going to continue to answer those calls.
For many schools are closed today. Are you in communication with the districts about what might come next?
We are. And that's a great question. Schools, that would probably be a question for their leadership, but they're going to contact us and the Sheriff's Department and ask us our opinions. And their first priority is the safety of their children and their staff and their employees. And whatever they decide, we'll back them 100%. Our job is to find this guy and bring this to an end. And so they can get back to going to school, playing sports, and and just being at calm and ease.
Are you advising them to stay closed, Scotty?
Sir?
Do you know if you're advising them to stay closed?
At this time, it's up to the superintendents, every school district. When it snows, one school right down the road might not close, but another one might. So I can't tell them what they need to do. They'll make their own judgments. They will contact us and ask us our opinions, and we appreciate those opinions. But they have to do what they think is safe for their community, their kids, and their employees.
Scott, you mentioned this is ongoing great. Is there anything new that y'all are trying today?
Listen, we love technology, and we love people coming in to help, and there's numerous resources. These gentlemen behind me with the ATF and the FBI, and they might be a training out there that maybe some of us don't even know about the technology. We have people that are professionals in computer software who give us the terrain. I gave you photos of it, and you look and you're like, oh, that's just the woods. Until you get out there, there's more to it than just the woods. Sinkholes, caves. There's animals out there. There's snakes. There's all kinds of stuff. So you got to use caution, and usually that technology that they're giving us is helped out. Especially if we have, like late last night, we took troopers in. I think around 25 troopers went in and done a grid search. It was starting to get dark, and you got to protect those troopers. You can't have them just because you got a flashlight doesn't mean you can see everything around you. So you got to protect those troopers and tell them the areas that they're going.
You mentioned that you're not aware of.
Yes, sir.
JD Radio, and I first want to say I appreciate the job you guys are doing.
Thank you.
How long do we have a timeline of how long you start shooting the cars? Do we know what's people constantly
At this time, I do not know that. I apologize. That's a great question, but I do not know that answer at this time.
Have you searched residents?
Do what, sir?
Have you searched residents?
That is a part of the criminal investigation, but that's pretty common. We've not left no stone unturned, and that's probably a stone that we have looked into.
How much rock does he have on the ground?
Yes, sir.
I hate to sound like a movie, but does this guy have some sort of survival training, or is he just a regular guy?
He's been in the military. Just because you're in the military don't mean you're, a professional survivalist. Talking about maybe wearing him down, that's what. It don't matter if you are a survivalist. If you're out there without water and food, how long can you really survive? And we hope he just walks out. Gives up. And we didn't talk about this last night. There is people that are hurt. There is people that are injured. But at this time, nobody has died. And let's not make this, if he does have social media, if he does have a family out there that cares for him, turn yourself in. Don't make this worse than what it is. Just give up and make our community get back to what it is. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Can you speculate as to what his motive may have been?
I do not know, sir. I apologize. I do not know that.
And as a follow-up, I'd like to ask, how many boots do you have on the ground that are out on this search?
Well, I was there early this morning, and I probably seen over 100 cars. Not saying there's 100 people in the woods, because we kind of take them in groups, and you don't want to take, because you got crossfire. If something bad was to happen, you don't want to put people in harm's way, and you want to keep them separated. So I'm not going to say we got 100 people in the woods, but I say we have teams and we have groups, and we keep them out there. We bring them back in. It's kind of like a canine. You got a bomb threat in a school, you can't walk one dog through a whole school. You got to bring them back for water. And that's what we're doing here. We're bringing people back in, let them get refreshed, and then they go back out. And that might be something, it might be today and it might be a week from now, but we'll continue to do that.
Do you believe he's still alive?
I don't know the answer to that. The man upstairs probably knows the answer to that better than I do. And
what percentage, John, would you say?
Well, the weather's not being that cold, and it's not been that hot. So
he had mentioned to his ex-wife, though, he would kill a lot of people.
That's the first I've heard. I'm sorry.
The affidavit that you had that was released said that he said he would kill himself. So.
Okay. I didn't do the search warrants.
So what does it mean that the AR-15 style rifle was found in the phone with the battery out? That's the reporting I'm seeing. I'm sorry, I'm coming to a cold.
Yeah.
If I'm a resident, I might take some part in the fact that gun was left. And I don't love the fact that the batteries take out of the phone, indicating maybe we're trace technology. As an investigative point, what does all that say to you?
Well, that says to me that the FBI and the ATF and people that deal with that stuff on a daily basis, and our intelligence with the state police, they will dig all in that stuff, and it's not something you can get overnight, but if they find it, they're going to pass on the information, and that'll be a part of the investigation. That if he was to come out, that would go to the criminal portion of this investigation.
Trooper, you mentioned that you weren't aware necessarily of the affidavit of Miss Mills in there. Do you know that if your partner agencies shed some light on the text messages that were part of the affidavit, and if that can speak to his motive and whether or not he may still be alive?
That's something maybe the sheriff Sheriff, I didn't see you right.
Well, that's like I say, the case is still under investigation, and I'd really rather not get into that at this time. We're concentrating the efforts right now, state police, trying to apprehend this guy, and that's our main focus. Yes, paperwork has been obtained, signed by our Commonwealth attorney. It has been executed, but that's today, and I'd really rather not get into the investigation. We're going to try to lay hands on him, and then we'll process all that through court.
And so I wonder at what point, how long is the search going to go on if he did do what he said that he was going to do in that text message?
We'll search until we can find him, until we exhaust all resources, and we're not going to quit. We definitely want to, lay hands on him and bring him to justice.
Looking at some of the details in that affidavit, I mean, there's some critical points that would identify him. I mean, do you ever get the sense that he wants to be caught or found?
Well, I've not got the sense that he wants to be caught. It'd be pretty simple for him just to walk out or step down on 75. I mean, we're looking. I really don't know, but I wish we could, lay hands on him and bring him in.
Sheriff, I know that you have a lot of the state and your officers. Have you brought the U.S. Marshals in that do assist in the search?
Marshals are included in the investigation, yes.
Sheriff, talk about the victims if you don't mind out here at the podium.
The victims are, there's no fatalities. I've not been to the hospital or nothing like that, but the way I understand it, all will recover.
Why are they from Kentucky? Were you guys familiar with the suspect at all?
No, ma'am.
Sheriff, you got any information that there was anybody else involved helping him in this?
No.
Planning, getting him out of there, any of that stuff?
We're investigating, but we've not obtained information to say that anybody else was involved. Not saying they're not, but we've not obtained that. No, sir.
Can you share a bit more information about the victims? Are they from, the state of Kentucky? Are they out of state? Anything like that?
Some from state, some out of state.
Okay.
Do you have any information on the timeline from Saturday between the purchase of the gun and when the shooting started?
Yes, we have all that's documented. We have exact times, but this time the investigative part, I'd really rather not discuss that.
Sheriff, was the gun legally purchased?
Pardon?
Was the gun legally purchased?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
At what point was law enforcement made aware about the text messages that he was going to kill a lot of people?
I'd really rather not elaborate on that, being, if he is brought to court, the way we receive that and the people that maybe had gave us that information, I'd rather not disclose that.
Are there other potential witnesses that warned you about what the suspect planned to carry out?
No, sir.
Are you in touch with state partners like in Tennessee, Florida?
Like the trooper said, he is entered NCIC. So if he's in Tennessee, Florida, wherever he's at, everyone will be aware. If his name is run or anything, he will be picked up just like if he was here today. Yeah.
Do you have any reason to believe he has a cell phone out in the woods and communicating with anyone?
I don't. Not really. No, nothing concrete. We did recover the phone. He could have a cell phone. He may have two cell phones. But as far as me saying for sure that he does, no, I can't say that. No.
Are there any questions y'all would like to ask Mr. Couch once you do get hands on him?
Oh, he'll be questioned. Yeah, there's many questions that we have. Yes.
Sheriff, real quick, this might sound kind of dumb, and I apologize, but that's such a heavily traversed stretch. I drive it. We all drive it. Advice for people that are a little leery because there are those ledges and people are probably looking up now and thinking, oh my God, could there be a copycat person?
Well, that's a possibility. Just kind of be aware of your surroundings, and that's about all we can say. We sure didn't expect nothing like this to happen, and that's a heavy patrolled road. State police, ourselves, all agents, the interstate's really patrolled heavily. There's so many people out there, so just use caution and kind of be aware of your surroundings.
Sheriff, when I was out, I traversed between 3rd and exit 49. I noticed that they were pretty, cars were on the side of the road. They came to. Are you more concerned that there could possibly be a carjacking situation where he tries to fire you and that you guys, your officers are diligent about species on the side of the road?
Well, we're just trying to show a real heavy presence to put the community at ease, to let them know that we are out, and if anybody needs assistance, or maybe if they see the cruiser sitting on the side of the road, they can pull in and say, hey, we saw a guy walking back here. We're just trying to show a really heavy police presence right now.
Have you ever recovered any other firearms that you own?
No, just the one.
How many square miles or acres have you guys searched so far? Do you have an estimate on that?
So I sent you some photos over Facebook, and if you've done a grid search, we have flown like you go a mile each direction, so it's in a big circle pattern. We can take that out further, and we will take it out further. We have drones coming in every day from different agencies that we're using, so we're not going to turn down any help. And we're going to keep looking. If it gets broader and broader, we'll just keep going until we exhaust that information and we don't think he's no longer there. But our first priority is to protect the people in that immediate community and protect that business. That business, we've kind of took it over the last couple of days, so we want to appreciate and thank the 49 exit because that's where we kind of set up, and it's probably hurting the business. So we want to thank them for letting us do that. If I can encourage y'all, I know you contact Post and 911 and other agencies. Thank our dispatchers. We have people that are working tremendously, like barely any sleep, because they don't want to leave, because they want to be a part of what's going on, and they work really hard. So be patient with them too, because they're going on not very much sleep like some of us are. So we might be a little grouchy. So don't just be nice to them and be pleasant, and they'll try to get you the information, and they'll send me emails left and right. And I apologize, I cannot answer them all. Just call me or text me, and I'll try to help you out the best I can there. Any more questions?
Will you all be holding any more opinion briefings today?
Probably not today, unless something sparks up. And we would immediately put that out on a press release, and I would share that with the sheriff's office, and he would share it. So we would get it out to you all as fast as we could, and it would be like, hey, come here in an hour or so for another a meeting. Tomorrow we'll probably do the same thing. Hopefully we'll come up with some more information tonight. But the biggest thing, we encourage the community to stay strong. Please look after your fellow neighbor. Law enforcement, we will do our best to be on every little road, every interstate. But check on your neighbors, especially the ones that that can't get around easy and that are in fear. Check on them, and we'll even do extra patrol if they want us to. So thank you. And if there's not any more questions, we'll conclude this.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks, Sheriff. You too, sir. Good to get back home.